Hello, I'm Dr. Amy Kavanagh, or the Blind Button Masher. I'm a visually impaired video gamer, Twitch streamer, disability activist, and freelance consultant. And I'm supported by the lovely guide dog Ava, who's with me here today. I'm a typical casual hobby gamer. I play maybe one evening in the week and at the weekends. We're definitely a gaming household with a Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, gaming PC, although we are struggling to get our hands on their next-gen consoles. I play blockbuster games and a few more niche specialist games. One of the real joys of gaming for me as a disabled player are the places I get to explore that would otherwise be inaccessible to me. For example, driving through a tunnel at night in a fast car in London. Oh, baby. Yes, please. Yes, please. Hello. Ah. Sexual. Ah. Look at this. Meow. I'm having a moment. I was having a moment. What can I say? However, as a blind button masher, I spend a lot of time lost in virtual worlds. And unfortunately, I can't transport my trusted guide dog Ava to 9th century England, dystopian Seattle, or Marvel's New York. My Twitch community are really used to my frustrated cries of, where do I go? I don't know where it is. And then we all scramble to find a YouTube clip or a walkthrough to help me carry on a game. This talk will explore what can be done to improve navigation and wayfinding. Together, let's design games for those of us that like to ask for directions when we get lost. So, finding the way forwards. When we start out, it's important to think about building a world that I can see as a low vision gamer. And here are two innovative examples that I'd like to share that made navigating and wayfinding a lot easier for me as I explored my way through a game. First, I'm going to show you Miles Morales in high contrast mode. This was a game I really loved, especially after Spider-Man, and I found this high contrast mode super accessible.
Be there soon.
Yeah!
Let Mom know I'll be late.
Miles, ¿qué tal? Did you get the shopping list?
Hey, Mom. Yeah.
Oh, I love it!
The bodega was out of coconut milk. Gonna check a store downtown.
Oh, thank you. But avoid Midtown. That prison convoy is making traffic a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've missed this
See
feeling.
you at dinner, Mom. Man, how does Pete do this secret identity thing?
Oh, I love it.
Stresses me out.
Oh, I miss this so much. God, it feels so fluid, even with the high contrast mode. Oh, God. This is amazing. I'm also loving, I was going to turn it off, but actually I'm really enjoying the high contrast mode just to get myself back familiar with the mechanics, because it means I can just focus on me and not get kind of visually distracted. So as I explained, high contrast mode means I can just focus on me. It allowed me to explore the city on low vision days, the kind of days where I normally can't pick up a controller. It also helped being able to toggle it on and off quickly for those fights that were getting a little bit too visually overwhelming. Another example I'd like to talk about is A Plague Tale. I've just finished this game and I absolutely loved it. Now, the accessibility settings are pretty much nil, but the gameplay was designed in a way that actually turned out to be really accessible in the use of light. So here's a little clip of me battling some of the scary rats. Okay. Can I get here? Yes, yes, yes.
System works really well. I'm ready. Don't forget me. Thank you.
Okay. You come here.
Lucas, we're not alone. Oh.
Okay, I think this way.
A guard. He's still alive.
So the game was about channeling light to avoid the terrifying demonic rats, but actually light was also used to wayfind throughout the game. That, with highlighted navigable obstacles, it meant that I was never lost. And it meant it was a really enjoyable aspect for me, that creating pathways through a high contrast light mechanic was actually how I could play the game. So, this is a really fun way to think about how we can do gameplay and build worlds using a more navigable system for players to find their way around. I'd also like people to think about colour palettes, weather, and how you highlight obstacles that you can climb, jump, etc. But really, I would love some of that gameplay or those environmental features that give me those pathways. And of course, any high contrast modes are always appreciated. So, carving a path. How am I navigating your world? Can I run, ride a horse, drive a car? How many legs do I have? Can I jump? Can I swim? It's really important when I pick up a game to understand those mechanics because sometimes they massively impact whether or not I can play. I love autopilot modes. Whether it's a boat, a horse, or a car, it's making my life a lot easier in open worlds. It's great to have a contrast highlighted path to follow, like we saw in the earlier clip with Watch Dogs Legion. It's great when I can highlight a path on the map and on the road or pathway. I would also really love a way to position the navigational mini-maps or HUDs so that they can pop up in the centre of the screen. For me, having things squirreled away in a corner, it makes it really difficult to see because that part of my vision isn't useful. Being able to toggle something so I can put it just up in the middle for a second to check on my direction would be so helpful. Always offer larger, more detailed, highly coloured, high contrast mini-maps or navigational HUDs. And also, I'd love to see some of those old tropes come back to show us the way. You know, the magically dressed man who's going to stand in front of a secret entrance. Are there ways that we can reinvent that in modern gaming to give people hints, if they want them, to find the right door? This is a really little fun section from Red Dead Redemption 2. I found the mini-map and the actual whole map really great in this game, especially for an open world. It made exploring really organic but never frustrating. And I feel this is quite a relevant clip for our discussion today.
Penny for the blind!
Mister. Help a blind man.
Okay, sure.
You didn't run when last we spoke, sir. You didn't run far enough.
All right. Well, I'll have to take your word for it. Girl.
Don't waste any more time with an old blind man. Go out there and become who you are.
So, let's go out there and become who we are. I've followed the map, I've planned the route, and I've arrived at my destination, but I'm fumbling around in the dark. Now I need a prompt. If I'm exploring or discovering an objective in a game, how do I get a hint? It's great to have difficulty settings in maps, and those different levels of detail that are becoming standard is really great to see. However, often, when I get to the objective, that detail is pulled away. Or designers are so committed to an aesthetic or gameplay style that I end up feeling excluded. Valhalla really did this to me, and it broke my heart. Because I actually thought it was a bug to start with. Keep your collectibles tricky, but let me enjoy side quests too. Ava, you gonna come back and help me? Come on. Touch. Good girl. Lie down. Gonna lie down. Good girl. Ava wants to go off on an adventure. You gonna lie down, Ava? All right. You stand there. So here are two really good examples of wayfinding that can offer some insight, but also some challenges. So I'm going to use a couple of examples now to explore the way that hints and wayfinding functioned in these two different games. So first, Ghost of Tsushima, which I describe as a close but no cigar when it came to navigating and hints. And I'll explain why as we watch this clip. So with Ghost, there were several mechanics that helped you work out which way to go in the game. There was the wind, and there were also icons. I missed that icon the first couple of sweeps, but now I've seen it. I'm heading towards it, but then it disappears. I keep using the wind to back up the navigation, but now I don't have any clues. The wind was particularly difficult to see, especially in this kind of rainy atmosphere. And I get so frustrated that both the wind and the navigational icon won't work now, that I might take it out on this poor, unsuspecting deer. Oops. So now I'm going to try and find the objective again. Use the wind. Okay, it's on the left. Oh great, the icon's back. Let's head towards it. And it's gone again. I think I'm going in the rough general direction. And then I get some help from a little friend. That's the auditory cue of the little yellow bird, which you'll just see going off into the distance there. The bird was great. Didn't always take you to the objective you wanted to go to, but, you know, it took you somewhere interesting. Now it's on the left, but I've realised my objective is right in front of me. There's a visual clue here on the objective that I was looking for some purple flowers. I spot them.
Chrysanthemums. The musician who told me the legend of Kalodi mentioned them. Could link to
And
the Violet Crown.
I've reached my objective. And the wind confirms it. And the music confirms it. So for me, Ghost of Tsushima, it was really kind of halfway there with these different elements. And they sort of worked, but they ended up being a bit more frustrating than supportive sometimes. So, next, obviously, have to talk about The Last of Us 2. Now, with this game, it was really obvious where you needed to go, as this clip will show us.
Okay. It's gotta be close. So it's telling me where to go, did you say?
Left stick forward, plus, X button, squeeze through. Hold, A1 button, to listen. With enhanced listen mode, press square button, while in listen mode to scan for nearby enemies. Press L3 button, while in listen mode to path towards the scanned enemy.
So that's actually me going wow in that clip, because those great big arrows, they make things pretty easy to find. And not only do they help with navigation, but as you see, they direct you towards combat, which was just a revelation for me. Now, I understand. Not everybody wants to put a great big yellow arrow in the middle of their game. That's why we toggled it on and off with The Last of Us 2. But if you think about that Ghost of Tsushima clip, were there ways that it could have been enhanced? Could I have a different colour for the wind, or an arrow inside the wind? Could I make sure that the pinned objective just stayed there instead of repeatedly disappearing? So what I want you to think about when you reach a destination, yes, having those difficulty settings for maps and prompts is brilliant. That mixed level of detail really helps. Please let us track objectives or missions, please. But if you want me to explore, if you want that to be part of the challenge, give me feedback for things other than my eyes. Can I have a vibration in the controller? Can I have an audio ping when I get close to something? Can I use an NPC? Can I summon or prompt another character? I'm just going to mention Guide Dog Ava again as a bit of inspiration. But having, an NPC that I can ask, which way is it? Or like the little bird, actually toggle them towards an objective would be wonderful. So, just like in life, I want to be able to navigate online worlds independently. I don't want to have to resort for spoilers online. I don't want other half to have to navigate areas for me. I want my journeys through games to be like my working relationship with Guide Dog Ava. I plan the routes, I find the landmarks, I know where we're going, but she steers me around the obstacles. Ava is my eyes for the small everyday hazards and keeps me on a straight and narrow path so I can discover a route safely by myself. So I ask, as game developers and studios, design an Ava into your game. Give me a high contrast HUD, a clear minimap, wayfinding with levels of contrast or extra detail, and when it's needed, let me pin an ultimate destination or objective, or give me a few more clues about how I get there. Thank you very much for listening today. I'm the Blind Button Masher.